been a while since my last review, but don't worry guys, I'll start this year strong, with the most overhyped title of 2021, Jujutsu Kaisen. Now don't get me wrong, this is a pretty good action anime, with fun characters and an amazing main character. However, it lacks originality, making it one of the better shown out there. The show has style and a very intriguing premise, but the story is unfocused, and sometimes kinda chaotic. Also, this anime took a lot of elements which made other shows popular and simply mixed them up to make this property accessible and beloved by the masses. There's a fine line between drawing inspiration from different sources, be it legends, folklore, or even other artistic entities. Jujutsu Kaisen, however, plainly copies trends, characters, and story elements from other anime like Naruto and Tokyo Ghoul. The Naruto parallels are the most obvious ones. The main character is less annoying. We have stray copycats in Satoru Gojo, who is basically Hatake Kakashi. They're something similar both in mystery and the quirky way they behave towards others.
This guy actually went and bought souvenirs while people were out here dying?
It's no souvenir. I'll be eating this on the bullet train.
I also see some similarities with Black Clover, since the tall brunette guy is silent and calculated.
Tokyo.
Fushiguro! Looking good, brother!
You think this is looking good? Anyway, here's the deal.
Also for the fact there are 3 new students.
Friends already. And together we're heading out tomorrow. We're gonna go pick up the 3rd and final first year.
It's incredibly reminiscent from our beloved Team 7. Nobara Kukisaki is basically Sakura, even the way she thinks out loud and judges people so superficially.
This is what I get to work with? Great, just my luck.
She took one look inside. That can't be good.
Also, she's into brute strength and has an aggressive behavior. As I mentioned before, you can take inspiration from other sources and create something new, with a distinct spin on it, like Naruto did, by simply taking a bunch of archetypes and elements that have worked before, and force them into an unfocused narrative that many times struggles to stay cohesive. Is not how you create a distinct shonen to last the test of time. Maybe I'm wrong, since Jujutsu Kaisen has worldwide recognition. I can see what attracts the people to this property. The anime has style, a lot of interesting action. The gothic and gory art is a lot like the one from Tokyo Ghoul, and that show had incredible visuals. Therefore, this show is also pretty damn good in delivering memorable sequences and engaging colorful confrontations between its characters. Despite all that, the main element which holds the anime together is the main character and his predicament. It's a strong positive to have a cheerful, optimistic, and likable protagonist of the story. Nothing makes the show more boring than an unreliable and static main character. Jujutsu Kaisen really has struggled with Yuji Itadori.
We love Tokyo! Idiot!
He's the main force behind the show and made the story work when otherwise it would have been a mess of a narrative. I don't really enjoy how in anime it's mostly curses, demon, ghosts, yokai, and other maleficent entities of folklore which take center stage and become the main focus of the story. I like these spin-off things to have the evil entities combined with the heroes and make villains be the ones saving the day and protecting humanity. We still have plenty of bad guys, but the protagonist is usually powered by dark energy. We have Halo in Bleach. Ichigo goes berserk and becomes a Halo when using the full extent of his potential. The Nine-Tailed Fox in Naruto. Again, the main source of power for Naruto comes from the demon side of him. Inuyasha is half a demon and draws his source of energy from his demonic half. Luffy from One Piece ate the devil fruit to gain power, and he goes completely dark whenever in Gear 4 mode. And to keep on adding to the list, we also have Natsu from Fairy Tail, who has the dragon form, and he's also a dragon slayer. But the best comparison with Jujutsu Kaisen would be Tokyo Ghoul. The entity inside Itadori is constantly talking with him, even possesses his body. Kinda reminds me of Rise from all those conversations with the main character. Since Sakuna is an evil demon who wants to bring chaos to the world, he comes off as similar with the bloodthirsty Rise, who indulge herself in consuming the flesh of the innocent.
What are you waiting for? If you're gonna switch, then do it already!
Also got mentioned Ushio and Tora as a comparison. It's kind of similar how Itadori and Sakuna have a friend and relationship similar with a beast tiger and Ushio. This is a perfect example for me to elaborate what makes us simply import elements from other stories and to draw inspiration and create something new and refreshing entertainment. In Ushio and Tora, the beasts were pinned to the wall with a spear for a few centuries, just like Inuyasha was pinned to the tree until the protagonist came along and freed the demon. The difference is how, even though there are similarities and clear inspiration between the stories, Inuyasha found a clever way to add its unique spin on the legend and create something original and new for the shonen genre. By getting a female protagonist, adding a romance, also presented a secret jewel to get them working as a team. I like these fetch medieval fantasy quests in anime, where they have to find all the pieces of a certain object to complete a mission. In Jujutsu Kaisen, this simple yet engaging gimmick was implemented masterfully, and it kept me interested and captivated with the story.
Gather all the parts of Sukuna, absorb them, and then die.
You see, Itadori hesitates to unknow Sukuna's fingers, which make him possessed by the demon. However, Dentist has a total of 20 fingers, and the protagonist is able to contain the demon and suppress his power. Therefore, he is being appointed as Sukuna's vessel, and he is on a mission to collect all 20 fingers to deal with the demon once and for all.
Ryomen Sukuna is an imaginary fierce god with 4 arms and 2 faces.
Okay, interesting premise. This is a rare instance where the anime actually get an original spin on an overused trope and made it work with a brand new narrative. The first episodes are the best as they focus on this very idea. Afterwards, the show starts to stumble and be a bit uncohesive and boring as it tries to give more screen time to secondary characters who lack the charisma and intrigue Itadori has brought to the screen as we were introduced to the world of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, this sucks big time. I wanted to pull off a spirit gun or a Bankai or a Rasengan or a...
I love these black uniforms, also the symbols they have on their clothes. It's kind of reminiscent of a special time in Germany when anime took over the world. It's kind of weird how much radical symbolism is allowed in this entertainment, and I think it adds an edge of danger and intrigue to its characters and story to have them all in these black uniforms. It certainly helps to make the girls look more imposing and intimidating. White, mean, tall, and slender girls in black metal uniforms is something I fantasize about every night, and now I get to feast my eyes on a couple of them. Sadly, Jujutsu Kaisen does not have much fan service or nudity to speak of. I mean, there is some naked evil loot, but that's not worthy of attention. Where are the boobs? That it is, the beautiful female hips. I guess as of late anime has gotten a bit more modest. Back in the early 2000s, every big shonen had a few naked women thrown here and there at the beginning to keep the audience hooked and guessing for what is next to come. My Hero Academia has more fan service, and as the season went by, we get more and more female skin exposure. However, here in Jujutsu Kaisen, I was a little disappointed by the lack of fan service. I won't consider this as valid criticism in my review, since this is a personal preference, but I just feel more inclined to enjoy a show when it has some hot women who take regular baths in it. As I was saying, Jujutsu Kaisen is a mixed bag of cool elements and poorly implemented archetypes with a story that forms around the action rather than having the narrative dictate how characters fight and interact with each other. Also, something I didn't appreciate in the show is how people keep on explaining everything rather than showing. A bit of introduction to the courses was great. However, show more and let us understand and piece together the strategy behind the attacks. It feels better when I'm actively concentrating myself to perceive and follow the action. My favorite moments in the show was when Sukuna took control of Itadori and carved his own heart to make the body prisoner. Here we experience some clever writing, an interesting dilemma for a protagonist. If he were to switch bodies, he would die. If he were to be inactive, his friends might perish. It shows the resilience and determination of our protagonist to protect others at the cost of his own life. Luckily, he gets revived, and Sukuna takes a weird position in his body, reminiscent of the nine-tailed fox from Naruto. His resurrection has some funny stuff. His resurrection was some funny stuff. Also, the domain gimmick seems like overboard for me. I wish they wouldn't have added this part to their power, as it makes for more boring encounters. Let their abilities be tested on even ground. The domain favors the strong, not the one who adapts better to the situation, as a clever combo situation should be. Alright, I gave Jujutsu Kaisen an 8 out of 10. It is a good shonen anime, with some interesting horror elements, and a likable main character.
I can't remember. The nice girl. The girl who has the cool bangs.